All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division and the 140-pound division, where Teofimo Lopez apologizes to Bud Crawford and gets on Errol Spence Jr. in one of the more orchestrated bits of nonsense I've seen in a while in the boxing world. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about Teofimo Lopez, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. As you know, Teofimo Lopez has a fight coming up this Saturday against Sandor Martin. Terence Crawford has a fight coming up this Saturday against David Avanation, and Errol Spence Jr. does not have a fight this year because Terence Crawford skipped out of him in some negotiations. Now, Teofimo Lopez had criticized Terence Crawford for what he did, but in a very strange twist, he now apologizes to Teofimo Lopez to Terence Crawford, and puts the blame on Errol Spence Jr. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Really does mean a lot. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super chat and the Cash App and in the super thanks that you see in the lower right-hand corner of these videos. Really is how the channel continues with you guys' support. So thank you very much. But let's get into this, man. I was on Twitter yesterday, going through Twitter, run into a tweet that was released by or put out by Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is a former champion at 135 pounds, was the WBA, WBC, IBF, and the WBC franchise champion at 135 pounds. And moved up after he lost to George Kambosos, moves up to 140 pounds, where he has a fight coming up this Saturday against Sandor Martin. There's actually a very good card. Looking forward to the card. You have Jared Anderson on the card, Xander Zayas on the card, Puerto Rican 154 pounder. Jared Anderson is a young heavyweight. You also have the Olympic silver medalist Keyshawn Davis on that card. So just a bunch of really good fighters on that card. Not necessarily the most competitive matches, I don't think, except for maybe the Teofimo Lopez versus Sandor Martin fight. Sandor Martin is coming off of a big win against Mikey Garcia in Mikey Garcia's farewell fight for his career, where he Sandor Martin fought Mikey Garcia at a catch weight of 144 pounds, but pulled off the upset. So a lot of people are thinking that he may be able to do something with Teofimo Lopez, southpaw kind of slick fighter out of Spain. But we'll see what happens in that. Now, in the lead up into that, though, Teofimo Lopez releases a tweet. Now, to give you a little bit of background on that, he had previously said in interviews that Terence Crawford had messed up his bag, right, by not taking the Errol Spence Jr. fight, which was pretty much putting blame firmly on Terence Crawford for not taking that fight. Didn't have any criticism for Errol Spence Jr. So in this tweet that he released yesterday, he comes out and says, hey, I got to apologize for putting all the blame on Terence, for not speaking about Errol Spence Jr. when I talked about the Terence Crawford fight not getting happen. Errol Spence is just as much to blame, if not more so to blame, than Terence Crawford is. Now, here's the thing. Why, Teofimo Lopez? Why? What information did you get all of the sudden all of a sudden that would make it necessary for you to put a tweet out like that, which, by the way, comes out the same day that you have a guy named, what is the guy's name over there at Yahoo Sports, man? Kevin Iole pretty much puts out the same thing and says, to use the words of, he basically quotes Richard Nixon and uses a quote for him, but applies it to boxing and says, that it's never one side, it's both sides, that were responsible for this and this fight not taking place. Right now, here's a little bit of a clue. When people that are always 100% ready to blast on PBC fighters or PBC for anything and blame them for anything and everything, thinks there's nobody to blame and it's a 50-50 blame, all they're doing is continuing to do what they always do, which is blame the PBC. That's it. Because they can't, what happens if it is not the other guy, right? What if it's not Errol Spence Jr. and it is Terence Crawford that decides not to take the fight? For you to split the blame, gives you a little bit of an explanation. Say, okay, yeah, we know Terence Crawford, probably didn't do everything he needed to do, but it's more on them and them not wanting the fight and them trying to hold up the fights. Man, intra promotional company nonsense, man, it just keeps going and going and going. For people that have been familiar with this channel and watching this channel, there is no reasonable explanation for why you would blame Errol Spence Jr. equally or more so than Terence Crawford, considering everything Terence Crawford has said and everything that Terence Crawford has admitted to doing in that negotiation. There's literally no reason to put that on Errol Spence Jr. That is over there firmly on Terence Crawford. And the only reason that anybody's been able to give for blaming Errol Spence Jr. is off of some offer that Terence Crawford said was out there for $25 million, $25 million for some hedge fund that he wouldn't tell Errol Spence Jr. the name of, according to Errol Spence Jr. However, as it ended, Terence Crawford said he had accepted all of the terms for Errol Spence Jr.'s fight, and then without telling him, went away and accepted a fight that he'd already accepted with somebody else. That is, man, I am still waiting. I don't want to see this, but if it does happen, and this type of thing often does happen, wait until there's a scenario where there is a PBC fighter that actually turns down a fight with somebody over that was with Top Rank or somebody that is over there on that other side of the fence, which there clearly is in boxing, right? Wait till that takes place. It will be 100% same people that are telling you that, oh, well, you really can't blame one person. It's got to be both people. All of them are going to 100% firmly put it on the PBC for fights not happening. The hypocrisy is just, to me, is amazing, but it's not surprising because, as they say, boxing is a business. So when you have one entity that fights on Showtime and fights on Fox, then you have another entity, you have another group of people that are really supported by the boxing media because of the way that they do business, and they're on ESPN and DAZN. Well, you wind up seeing that the people over here always got something bad to say about the people over there and are never going to split it equally, never give those guys a benefit of the doubt, not one time. And that is also reflected in this Hall of Fame votes that just came out this week. I'm not going to do another video on that one, but yeah, I'll talk about it in a live stream. But suffice it to say, if Tim Bradley and Laura Serrano make it into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, you better put Sean Porter and Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman in there on the first vote as well. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.